I'm one of the founders of PHP, but we need to be careful about the other quadrant over here, which is people with good skills, poor values. They manipulate.
If all the young men and women of America were watching you, what is one call to action that you would give them as they start their life journey? A lot of stepping back and analyzing.
Cultivate virtue, purpose, honor, humility, improving, getting better. That is the pursuit of happiness. People need to go through the desert. People need to go through a struggle. How does somebody become successful in life? Well, they struggle. How did somebody build a successful business? They struggle.
The struggle is what people are so afraid of, but then they never see their full potential. They never see the person that God's called them to be. It's so simple, yet people stumble over its very simplicity because it takes a lot of humility. Why is it that you do what you do? Who am I with and what base shop are you representing?
Rodolfo Vargas, I run a company called With the People, WTP.
Wow, beautiful. Really quick, how did that name come about? It seems really humble to actually serve people. How did that name come about?
Yeah, With the People comes from, I'm one of the founders of PHP, the company. One day I'm with Patrick David, and I'm an immigrant. I'm from El Salvador. And one day I'm with Patrick, I'm walking in Washington, D.C., and he recommended me to go and learn from the country, from the Constitution as an immigrant. And I went and read it, and I felt inspired about the name With the People and about how beautiful this country has been founded on the principles and a pursuit of happiness.
Wow, that is so beautiful. I was actually speaking to my mom today. Both my parents are immigrants from Mexico, and I was telling them I was born and raised here in Florida. I'm no longer there right now, but I was asking them. I said, "Mom, Dad, do you guys think that immigrants are more grateful to be in this country than American-born citizens?" I just wanted to really quick get your idea of how grateful immigrants really are about the country that they now live in and how proud they are to be called Americans. Because my parents, I've been grateful to see them assimilating into the culture. What do you think?
Yeah, because we become more aware of the things that we have over here. For example, if I do a meeting in a best hotel with air conditioning, with everything, and we get the chance to speak, build a business. Sometimes in other countries, you're not able to do that.
That's right.
Not able to, you don't have the same opportunity. So we're more aware of how great this country is and all the benefits and opportunities we have.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And to go back to how you were starting up with your career, who or what has helped guide you on your career path to get you to where you are today that don't necessarily receive as much credit as they should? Or that?
Well, when I came to the U.S. when I was 22 years old, I got started in insurance with Patrick David in PHP when I was about 24, 25 years old. And he became my mentor, my coach, a person that helped me to go to the next level in the company. He founded the company and I was there. There are 5 co-founders in the company, so I'm one of them. So we built the company, but I want to tell you, we all need a mentor. What I was telling you is there are 2 types of mentors. Yeah. Or there is a quadrant. If I were to tell you, there is a quadrant of mentors, if you want to see it. There are people that have good values. And so if this is an axis, right, we have people with good values and we have people with good skills.
Yes, sir.
Right? So we have people that they have good values but low skills. That person they need to learn how to improve. Now we have people we need to be careful with poor values and poor skills. Don't get across those people. Now we have people like Patrick David with great values and great skills. But we need to be careful about the other quadrant over here, which is people with good skills, poor values. Because the people with greater skills and poor values, they manipulate. If I were to give an advice to the youth, to everybody, if you can find out somebody that has great values and have great skills, you're going to make it. Because that person is going to take care of you. That person is going to really sincerely wants to help you. Like Patrick David that I found for me. People with great values and great skills.
Wow, and I follow Patrick Bet-David and Valuetainment very closely, and the value he definitely gives just by remaining neutral and just giving questions, just asking questions, it shows me truly where his mind is at, and it's unbelievable how someone can come from that type of perspective. because it takes a lot of humility, a lot of calming, a lot of stepping back and analyzing. Now, to the young men and women of America, so to speak, if all the young men and women of America were watching you, what is one call to action that you would give them as they start their life journey?
Reach out. Reach out. You know, some people, they see somebody with good values and good skills, and they say, oh, probably that person's going to be too busy. Probably that person is not going to say yes to us. Probably that person is not available. Reach out. Reach out to that person. You have no idea what can happen to you. I was blessed that I found Patrick David. And but there is so many people out there that you can find with good values and good skills that they can help you in the future.
Wow. So just reach out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd honestly say just by asking you to do the interview, you'd be surprised how willing people are if you were to just ask. Might as well. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? A no? Go on to the next person. And for the last question, a little bit deeper, something truly from you, your perspective. Why is it that you do what you do in all aspects of your life? Why?
You know, there is, I mentioned at the beginning about the pursuit of happiness, right? So what is the pursuit of happiness? Is the pursuit of happiness to have another Ferrari? Is the pursuit of happiness to have another big house? Is the pursuit of happiness to go and get another $1 million? So the pursuit of happiness doesn't come from that. Pursuit of happiness doesn't come from for all my needs and everything. Pursuit of happiness actually comes from the Stoics. And the Stoics, virtue. You want virtue. So if somebody's listening to it, I'm going to tell you, cultivate virtue, purpose, honor, humility, improving, getting better. That is the pursuit of happiness that you never get to because you're always pursuing. You never get to perfection, but you're always improving. You always wanted to improve. So it's not necessarily only for my own needs, for my own want, for the next car or for the next house. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's the pursuit of virtue.
Wow. Something far deeper than just physical items. And I do a lot with ministry. And in colleges, I do these tabling events where I outreach and preach the gospel and answer questions. And debating different religions, atheists are the ones that come to me. And no matter what any other religion believes, they always argue against the idea of purpose. I'm always telling them there's a purpose for your life. And the atheists are telling me there's no reason to have a purpose. I say, if there's no purpose for your life, why are you here at this college? They're like, I want to pursue a career. I said, none of that matters without a purpose. You don't matter without a purpose, respectfully. And so to the person trying to find their purpose, is there any type of wisdom that you could share, any light you could shine on that person's life?
Yeah, it goes through the struggle. It goes to the struggle. How, you mentioned the church. How did Jesus start his own journey? What did he do? He went into the wilderness. He went alone. So it only happens when you go through the desert. So people need to go through the desert. People need to go through a struggle. How does somebody become successful in life? Well, they struggle. How did somebody build a successful business? They struggle and they go through it and they become better. They become stronger. How does somebody build muscle? Through the weights, you need to go through a struggle. So that's the way that you cultivate.
Wow. And usually the struggle is what people are so afraid of, but then they never see their full potential. They never see the person that God's called them to be. So that's it's so simple, yet people stumble over its very simplicity. That is unbelievable. Well, sir, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.